Hey guys, it's Caleb from KCNE Studios, and today we're going to be continuing our Godzilla backwards reviews. We're on Godzilla versus Megalon. So, let's get started. And one thing I want to point out is I'm going to be doing my reviews differently from now on. I want to do I want to stick with the good and bad things. I'm just going to call them pros and cons, but I'm also going to go through the movie and talk about the events in the movie. So, yeah, I'm kind of out of breath right now because I just ran up the stairs. And yes, so the movie starts out showing Monster Island and Godzilla's on it, and then there's this narrator who he's talking about like nuclear weapons and all that kind of stuff, and it's giving a bit of a lecture, but it's showing nuclear bombs on it and stuff. So yeah, and then it cuts to a lake scene with the three main characters. One's a little kid who has a terrible voice actor, and it's really bad. And then the two other characters are adults, and I think they're just friends. And yeah, so the lake starts to drain. Like there's this crack under the lake, and the water starts to drain into that mysterious crack. But the kid, he's still in the water, or the kid's in the water, and he's like playing on this boat thing. It's kind of weird, but and then they shoot this net thing at him, and he grabs it, and they reel him in, so he doesn't die. Obviously, that would be bad if he got sucked into the crack thing. But then they drive home, and their home is like a inventor's shop or something like that. It's pretty interesting, but yes. So they get home, and then they get robbed or mugged by these people, and they start punching them and stuff, and then they leave. Yeah, so those two people, that mugged them or punched, or, I don't know, they got into their house and started punching them, and then they may have stole something or dropped something, but it was kind of random. But so those people, they were Ceetopians, and the Ceetopians are these people who live underground, and they went into this a lot. The Easter Island stuff, they made the Easter Island heads, and they're almost like aliens, and it's pretty interesting. So yeah, anyways, the people in that the main characters, they made this robot named Jet Jaguar because they're like inventors, like I said. And there was the people the Ceetopians, they dropped this red powder stuff, and so they were working on this robot named Jet Jaguar, and so they found the red powder stuff, and they used that to screw on the head for Jet Jaguar for some reason. I don't know why they needed like red dust or something. It's kind of random, but yeah, so they used that to finish Jet Jaguar, and so now he's like this fully functioning robot. And then later, it cuts to the Ceetopians, and they get all mad because the nuclear weapons and stuff, and it starts to like destroy their underground like country or something, or their world, or their people start getting attacked. And then the king, he's like, he calls on he does this ritual thing and calls on Megalon, and it's really weird. That scene's really psychedelic. Like, I mean, the problem with this movie for me is that I've never seen it all the way through, actually, because the disc was all scratched up, and then I got it on Blu-ray, and so now I can see it all the way through, and it's really weird, actually. I didn't remember it being this weird. But yeah, so they do this weird ritual thing, and they call on Megalon, and the king, he's all like, Megalon, Megalon, and they wake him up, and he goes and he starts attacking stuff. And then the Ceetopians send these hijackers, and they go and they kidnap the main kid and one of the other main characters, and they put them in this box, and they go to this bridge, and it's but the bridge is over this dam, and so they take their truck and they like tip it over to tip the box over, and like dump the people out and kill them, because for I don't even know why they tried to do that, but yeah. So oh, okay, so sorry, I forgot. They wanted to kill them to get Jet Jaguar, because for some reason they had their eyes on getting Jet Jaguar to like help them rule the world or something. But yeah, so Megalon comes and he looks at the box, and then he just hits it, and it flies like I, somewhere. I don't remember. But yeah, so it falls there, and then it cuts to the other main character who didn't get caught, and he goes and he finds them, and he starts beating them up, and then they go on this car chase, and then he makes the other people wreck, because the guys who hired the Cetopians, they're sorry, I'm really I can't talk today for some reason. But like the main character, he's driving away and they're chasing him and stuff, and he manages to like make them crash as they're chasing him, and then he ends up the main character guy, he ends up meeting with the other main characters, um and then Megalon, he starts going on a rampage, and Jet Jaguar, he goes and he finds Godzilla, and he tells Godzilla to come and help fight Megalon with him. And so Godzilla's like, okay, and then there's this stock footage of Godzilla jumping off of a cliff into the water from, I think it's from Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. So yeah, that's what it's from. And yeah, then it cuts to some stock footage of a bunch of tanks and stuff driving around, and you've seen it before. I think it was in the stock footage has been used like 2 times actually, or 3 times. I kid you not. It was from Destroy All Monsters, when they're all lining where the vehicles and tanks and stuff are driving around and going through streets and stuff, and going to like attack them. But they used that stock footage like the 3rd time now, because I think they used it in Godzilla vs. Gigan as well, or that's where it originated. I believe it's from Destroy All Monsters though. But yeah, so the army comes and they start attacking Megalon, and of course it doesn't work. And then Jet Jaguar comes and he fights Megalon, and they do pretty good. Jet Jaguar gives him a pretty good beating, and then he's kind of winning and stuff. And then the Cetopians, they're like, uh-oh, we gotta call on another monster. So they ask the aliens from Nebula Space Hunter M if they can borrow Gigan. And so Gigan comes, and they like Jet Jaguar gets beat up pretty bad, and for a while too, until Godzilla comes, and then they're pretty even out. There's this cool scene where they trap them in this fire ring, and then they get out, and it's pretty cool how they trap them in the fire ring. And then they fight each other, and it's a pretty good fight actually. This is one of my favorite fights, probably at like top 10 fights, because this is a really good fight actually. And then obviously Godzilla and Jet Jaguar wins. It's cool though, Jet Jaguar takes Gigan's arm. He grabbed him, and then he did this to Gigan's arm, and he broke his arm. And then Gigan flies off, and then they're left with Megalon. And so Megalon's got these cool exploding rocks things, and so he shoots one of them, and he's like laying on the ground, and he shoots one of them, and it lands back in his mouth. It's pretty funny. And then Godzilla tells Jet Jaguar to grab Megalon in their monster roar talk or whatever. They use that a lot in the Showa series. And then Jet Jaguar has grabbed Megalon, and then Godzilla goes. He runs, and then he just does this with his legs. He goes like, and he drop kicks them. It's hilarious, and they do it like another time, and then Jet Jaguar and then Megalon, he goes into back into the crack, and the Cetopians seal off the crack, and so that's the end of the movie. So, and then the main characters, they find Jet Jaguar, and there's this cool Jet Jaguar song, and yeah, so that's the end of the movie. So yeah, let's get to the pros, or let's start with the cons. There's a terrible child voice actor. The music isn't that great, other than the Jet Jaguar theme song. It's not Akira Kufube's. It's just some random dudes. I think in the show series they were trying to, either they were running out of money to pay Akira Ikufube, or they wanted to experiment with other music score writers. But yeah, music's not good. The movie is really psychedelic, especially when they do the ritual to awaken Megalon. It's really psychedelic and just, yeah, really weird. Another thing is they used a lot of stock footage, like I said. There's way too much stock footage in this movie. Um, Not as bad as Godzilla's Revenge, but we'll see about that. We will definitely see about that. Another thing is not enough Godzilla until the fight scene. It feels more like Jet Jaguar versus Megalon. I mean, the only part that they show Godzilla before then is in the intro, and when he goes to get Godzilla, or when Jet Jaguar goes to get Godzilla. And yeah, so. And the last thing is the Cetopians. They're supposed to be like the aliens of the movie, and they really suck. They suck. They're like really bad aliens. No one likes those aliens. I hate the Cetopians. Alright, and that is it for the cons. So let's get on to the pros. It looks a lot nicer on Blu-ray. I definitely recommend getting this on Blu-ray because the quality in DVD for most people is pretty bad. So yeah, I recommend getting it on Blu-ray. And that's not really a pro, that's more of a recommendation, but yeah. So then, Jaguar's music is great. The intro's somewhat cool. I thought it was cool. The monsters, there's Megalon, who has an awesome suit and some cool abilities. Gigan, who looks a lot stranger. He looks chubbier, and his cyborg eyes are like face down instead of up like they were before. And he doesn't use any beam attacks for some reason. And then there's Godzilla, obviously, who has a new suit from its previous suits. So yeah. And then the Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar is awesome looking. And he makes a lot of cool sounds. I think Jet Jaguar is a really cool robot thing. And it's cool how he goes rogue, too. That's another thing I liked. There's a good long fight scene, and the fight scene in this is pretty epic, so I definitely recommend watching this. And so my last question. Remake? It would... I don't think that a remake would be good. I think it would be better than this movie, definitely, because this movie's really cheesy, really stinking cheesy. But most people don't like it because it's so cheesy. Like it almost reaches the cheesy level of like Ultraman. And I'm sorry, you Ultraman fans, but yeah, Ultraman's the original show. That's what I'm comparing it to. So it's a little worse than the Ultraman show in terms of cheesiness. Plus, it doesn't have very good music. But overall, I kind of liked it, actually. I liked it better than Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Terror of Mechagodzilla. I just think they should add better music. If it had better music and it wasn't so psychedelic, then I would have liked this movie. And I think the music, whoever made the music was the same person who made the music in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry that my Godzilla mod hasn't come out yet. Either it has or hasn't. But yeah, it should be coming out today. I'm sorry, I just haven't reminded myself to put that onto YouTube. But yeah, it should be on soon, very soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow Kendall Williams on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you haven't, and give me a like and comment. So thank you very much, and have a great day.